Good afternoon. Today we are going to see a topic of a video demonstration of load characteristics of DC shunt motor. Here I have shown the manual diagram of DC shunt motor. So already the connections are made. So just I explain what is shunt motor, then we can go for a circuit diagram as well as connection. So in electrical motor, a series motor or a parallel circuits are commonly known as a series or shunt. Therefore, in a DC motors, the connections of the field winding as well as the armature windings has been connected, which can be done parallel, which is known as DC shunt motor. The main difference between a DC series motor as well as DC shunt motor includes the construction, operation as well as speed characteristics. This shunt motor gives features like easy reversing control, speed regulation, and starting torque is low. So thus this motor can be used for belt driven applications within automotive as well as industrial applications. Normally a DC shunt motor is a type of self-excited DC motor, and it is also known as a shunt wound DC motor. Here the field windings in this motor can be connected in parallel to the armature winding. So both windings of this motor will expose to the equal voltage power supply. So this motor maintains an invariable speed with any kind of load. Unlike a series motor, shunt motor can operate without load. So this motor has a low starting torque and also it runs at a constant speed. Construction wise, it is similar to your DC series motor. It is also having basic parts like field winding, commutator and armature conductors. The working principle of a DC shunt motor is whenever a DC motor is turned on, then DC flows throughout its field winding as well as the armature conductors. This current flow will generate two fields, namely field as well as armature. So in the air gap between the armature as well as field, two magnetic fields, they will respond with each other for revolving the armature. Normally the commutator overturns the armature current flow direction at ordinary gaps. DC motor has been having the back EMF as P pi Zn divided by 60A, which is also having the working principle of electromagnetic induction principle. Here 230 volt supply is given to a DC shunt motor by means of a 3-point starter. Here the 3-point starter is nothing but a starting resistance which will include at the time of starting, because there is no back EMF at the time of starting. So there is inrush current flow to the armature which will damage the armature winding. In order to avoid these damage, we have to inculcate the 3-point starter in the circuit diagram or the process. So 3-point starter, which is used to start the DC shunt motor, we are having L, F, A, 3 terminals. L represents line, F represents field, which is shunt field, which is parallel with your armature. A represents armature. So the L is connected with your line, F is connected to your shunt field, A is connected to your armature. So this is a simple circuit diagram of load test on shunt motor. Voltmeter is connected across your supply in order to calculate the supply voltage or armature voltage. The ammeter is connected in series with your armature, which will determine or measure the armature current. In order to measure the armature current, the motor is coupled with the brake drum in order to give the load to the motor. So first of all, we have to note down the nameplate details. From the nameplate details, you have to calculate fuse for the DC shunt motor. For this DC shunt motor, the nameplate details is displayed here. Here the maximum power is 3, speed is 1500 rpm, voltage is 230 volt, rated current is 15.5 ampere. So from the rated current only you have to calculate the fuse value. So in order to calculate the fuse, 120% of rated current. So 120 into 15.5 divided by 100, you can get 18.6 ampere. So approximately we are putting 20 amps fuse here. So this is the basic circuit diagram. So let me go for a connection. So 230 volt supply here. The positive of 230 volt is given to starter, 3-point starter L. Then F is connected to a rheostat. Here the variable rheostat is here. Rheostat can be used as a potential divider for some applications. Here these the two terminals are input. Here this one is output. So we are giving input to here. The output is given to field winding, motor field winding F. So FF and AA are interconnected, which are connected to negative via voltmeter negative. So FF la irundhu A voltmeter negative koduthu the voltmeter oda negative eduthu we have to given to supply negative. Then the left out terminal A has been connected to armature, which will seriously connected with ammeter. So A has been connected to voltmeter positive has been connected to ammeter positive, and the ammeter negative has been connected to A. So A and FF has been interconnected, and the FF has been connected to negative in order to close the circuit via voltmeter negative. So this motor field rheostat, the purpose of motor field rheostat is to give the rated speed. The procedure for load test is just giving 230 volt supply, and we have to start the starter by means of 3-point starter. Then by varying this motor field rheostat, you have to run the motor at rated speed. So at rated speed, you have to note down the no load readings. Rated speed for this motor is 1500 rpm. So for the rated speed, you have to note down the no load readings from the voltmeter and the ammeter, and the speed as well as brake drum readings. So you have to note down these 4 readings. Then you have to apply load by varying the brake drum. So how much amount of load is applied by determining the ammeter readings. So if you are having 1 meter as 1 ampere at no load means, then you have to give 3 amperes. Then you have to apply load by giving 5 ampere. Then you have to apply load by giving 7 ampere. So up to you have to vary up to the rated current value. Rated current value for this shunt motor is 15.5 ampere. So up to rated current, you have to note down the various readings. So up to 15.5 amperes, you have to note down the various readings. For the noted readings, you have to draw the electrical as well as mechanical characteristics. Now we are going to start the motor. So by giving 230 volt supply, so now we are on the supply. So before starting off motor, we should follow the precautions. We are having 2 precautions for the load test on shunt motor. One precaution, the field rheostat is at the minimum resistance position. So this is the field rheostat. The minimum position is when the knob is in input side, it will be in minimum side. If it is in output side, if the knob is in output side, the field rheostat is in maximum position. Here the input is given to this terminal, so the knob is in input side, hence we can say it is in minimum position. So the first precaution is satisfied. The second precaution, the motor should be started with no load. So we have to go for this side. So here you can have the brake drum readings are 0. So we are starting the motor at no load condition. So we have follow the 2 precaution. Then we have to start the motor. So supply has been on. The 3-point starter is started to run the DC shunt motor. So the motor is started to run. So the motor is started to run. So it has started at some speed. So we have to measure the speed of the DC shunt motor, because the no load readings has been taken at rated speed of the motor. The rated speed of the motor is 1500 rpm. So now we are measuring the speed of the DC shunt motor. It is 1440. So just you have to vary the motor field rheostat. So here it is motor field rheostat. The motor field rheostat has been varied. A small variation is required in order to achieve the rated speed. So we have varied the motor field rheostat. Then we can go for speed measurement. So now the 1490 rpm. So 10 rpm we have to use. So for that a slight variation is needed in motor field rheostat. Now we are going for measuring speed. So it is also 1492 rpm. So we have made a slight variation. now we are getting 1500 rpm rated speed with no load, so 0 readings in brake drum. So now we are measuring the voltage, it is 234, current it is 2 ampere. So you have to voltage, current, load 0 brake drum readings, speed, rated speed 1500 rpm. So first reading is at rated speed, no load reading. Then you have to apply a load. So how much amount of load is applied by determining by means of current. So now it is 2, then we have to give 4. So by adjusting the load, the current has been increased, the armature drawn current has been increased. So you have to, so here I am varying the so I am applying the load by means of this brake drum. So either by varying any knob you can apply the, so now you can see the current has been varied from 2 ampere to 3 ampere. So again you have give some more load. Now you can see the current is varied from 2 to 4. So the second reading has been taken for 4 ampere. So voltage, corresponding voltage, how much amount voltage. Then you have to measure the F1 value from here. F1 it is 2, F2 it is 0.1. Then measure speed value. So it is 1488. So likewise you have to vary, or you have to apply a step-by-step load, and you have to measure various types of readings. For various types of reading you have to calculate torque, input power, output power, as well as efficiency by using this formula. So in order to calculate torque, F1 minus F2 into R into 9.81. Here R is the radius of the brake drum. So brake drum radius, it is 15.2 centimeter. Next, output power can be calculated by means of calculated torque. Input power can be calculated by simply multiplying voltage as well as current. Efficiency can be calculated by output power divided by input power. So by filling this tabular column, you have to draw or plot the electrical as well as mechanical characteristics of DC shunt motor. So now we are going to switch off the motor. So you have to give a back process of in order to off the motor. So first you have to release the load, and you have to start the motor without load. So you have to off the motor also without load. So for that you have to release the load, so it comes to 0 position. Then you have to vary the motor field rheostat now in order to achieve the rated speed. So you have to vary the motor field rheostat to minimum position. Then you can switch off the supply directly without touching starter. ஸோ நம்ம ஆஃப் பண்ணும்போது நம்ம மோட்டாரோடைய ஸ்டார்டரை எதுவும் டச் பண்ண வேண்டாம், டேரெக்டாக நம்ம என்ன பண்ணிடலாம், சப்ளை ஆஃப் பண்ணி மோட்டாரை ஆஃப் பண்ணிடலாம். the motor is stopped. So this is the way you have to conduct a load test. You have to get the various readings of load test on DC shunt motor. Normally the characteristics of DC shunt motor அப்படின்னு பார்த்தீங்க அப்படின்னா, the DC motor works at a fixed speed once the voltage supply is set. This DC motor is upturned by the turn around the motor connection like a series motor. So DC motor உடைய applications அப்படின்னு பார்த்தோம் அப்படின்னா, these motors are used wherever stable speed is required, as well as the kind of centrifugal forms, lifts, weaving machine, lathe machine, blowers, fan, conveyors, as well as spinning machines லாம் the DC shunt motor யூஸ் பண்ணுறாங்க. Okay, so this is all about load test on DC shunt motor. Thank you.